Maybe we should throw in an air horn every now and then.
Like a hockey, like when we score a goal.
Good topic, Trail. Get an air horn. Oh, nice. We have an air horn.
You just did one? I was a little disappointed. I wanted to hear it back.
Our podcast is now it's going to fail.
Yeah.
Because of the air horn.
From the air horn. It's just you and I today, Brady.
Yeah, it's just the homies.
We were joking earlier. We think we should call this what'd you call it?
Tradie. The Tradie podcast.
And then that sparked me. I was thinking about Tradio.
Tradio.
Did you ever listen to Tradio?
Yeah. So the Tradio thing. So when I used to be doing fisheries research work in good old Eastern Montana, we used to listen to Tradio every morning. And the people who call in to Tradio,
pure gold.
I could be friends with them in some weird way. Like I probably want to hang out with them all the time. But like people just sell the randomest thing, like a rim off a car, like
a pontoon boat.
Pontoon boats are always really good. Yeah. Goats. I've heard goats before.
Yeah. That's funny. I used to listen to it at the same time. So when I was doing sage grouse collar studies for the Forest Service, that's what I would listen to. Because
we had to listen to AM radio because there was no FM out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And it's like we're driving to these sites to go sample some fish and like just nothing going on.
There was no podcast downloading.
No podcast back then.
I remember I had like it was like a little Sony radio, had an AM, FM, that was it. It was about this big. Yeah. And you'd plug your microphone, your headset into it. I'd stick that thing in the top of the Bobcat when I was working on it, so I'd listen to AM radio. Just jamming. Some Tradio. So, today we got the Tradio show. The Tradio show. We don't know what we're going to really get into, but it's going to be really golden. We have we have topic ideas, but we might go all sorts of different ways. Yeah, we should say we're missing Lorenzo today. Yeah. Lorenzo's got a little, food poisoning maybe? Food poisoning maybe, yeah. Yeah, some bad sushi. It's not a good time to have food poisoning because we were going to talk about Lorenzo's stone sheep hunt. Yeah, because he's got coming up. When does he leave? It's got to be this weekend? Yeah. Yeah, like literally this weekend. Yeah, that's why he can't go to the Cam Haines event with us. Yeah, that's right. Brady and I will be on the road. Yeah, we're going to Eugene, Oregon this weekend. You ever been to Eugene? No, never been to Eugene. I've flown in. To Janine? I know, I can't talk right now. Is that your date next week? Yeah. Janine. Yeah. I don't think Janine is a name that people are named anymore. Like, I don't think there's any babies being named Janine. I might name a dog that. Right. But yeah, we're headed to Eugene end of the week. This week, Friday, right? Yeah, we're going to give a bunch of seminars. The same seminar 4 times. Trail's talking about application strategies, all sorts of different state-by-state breakdown, bonus points, preference points, random draw. I'm doing a little bit of in-depth e-scouting, mapping research, kind of tips and tactics. And we're not doing any of the events though, Trail. Why is that? Because I'm soft. I had actually, this is a true story. I had Omar works here. Yeah. He came up, I want to say it was 2 Saturdays ago to get a bow set up. So he left, I think he left Vegas at 3 a.m, drove up. He was at my house about 7, I guess. I don't know. But we set up his bow. But when he came, I was like, oh, just bring your running shoes. We'll go for a run. And then, he's, 20, how old is he? 25, 26 maybe? Like runs all the time. He probably runs, I bet he's running 50 miles a week, I'd bet. Yeah, I think on the bear hunt, we discussed that I'm like 10 years older than him. Yeah. So he's about that. I'm almost double his age, I know that. But I thought, I'll take him on a little 7-mile loop. And you run all the time. I do run all the time. But I also noticed, because when we first got out, he was like, oh, you don't pack a phone? No watch? I was like, nope. Don't time any of it. Don't care. Yeah, you're not worried about pace? No, not really. I just run to like where I'm kind of maxed out. I can do it. I don't want to run like outside myself. But that morning, because I got Omar there, I'm like, I'm going to teach this young buck a thing or two. Okay. So the first couple miles, probably 3 miles, I probably ran outside myself a little bit. And we summited, hit the top of the peak that I like to run. And I was thinking, shit, I got 3 more miles here. And like, I'm a little bit gassed. So it was kind of tough. It was kind of a tough loop for me. But after that, I thought, man, you know what? I really got to rein in the old diet. I got to start really getting a little bit more serious. So ever since then, which I think I'm about 2 weeks at this point, clean diet, just fruits, veg, meat, and no sugar.
Other than, I don't know, it's probably got some artificial.
I'm very proud of you.
in it.
No sugar.
Yeah, no sugar.
I know everyone knows my hatred towards sugar.
Yeah,
and fake sugars and all that stuff.
No sugar at all, and been kind of reining in the calories. I've lost some pounds.
And you told me you're now a large shirt.
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, I was teetering on an XL there for a minute. I saw some video of me running actually, and that was another part of this. I was just like, I'm kind of fat. I'm kind of not where I want to be.
I think you're a young pup in my eyes.
All that to say, that's probably why I'm not doing the event, the run.
Yeah, and it's just hard. I think it's hard to do both. No, not saying the event's hard.
Yeah,
but it's hard to. We have to present for 4.5, 5 hours on the middle of Saturday. We're flying there Friday night, and then if we stayed there on Sunday for the other part of the event, it'd be pretty tough for you to get back home because you have to fly back into Vegas and then drive back to Cedar.
Yeah, looking at flights, it would have put me back in Cedar that night fairly late, and that would be all weekend, and then right back to work on Monday. I try to save all my my leave days so that I can invest them in a hunting season.
I'm all for that.
I don't typically take days off unless I absolutely have to.
But speaking of running, though, what do you think? What's your thoughts on the old Sweaty Hat Club that we got going on?
The Sweaty Hat Club. I want to know. Well, I mean, I'll give you my thoughts in a sec, but give me the origins. What's up with the Sweaty Hat Club?
So I can't remember
that.
I can't remember who exactly started it. It might have been Scott.
Scotty?
I think so.
Scotty Too Hottie started the Sweaty Hat Club?
I think it was the first person who posted about it. I don't know if it was Paul. Might have been Paul. But like we were posting some of our workout stuff, and no one was like saying things, you know. Then someone at one point said, "It's a Sweaty Hat Club," and like did the whole hashtag thing. I thought the hashtag should have been Sweaty Hat Club all at once.
Just one word, Sweaty Hat Club.
Yeah, but it became Sweaty Hat.
Oh, so now it's just Sweaty Hat.
But it's a club. Like you asked me one point, you sent me a text. Is it a club or a team?
Yeah, a team or a club.
And I think a club is more exclusive because
I feel like a team is more exclusive.
You have to pay your dues to be in a club.
You got to make the team though.
Well, the only dues for the club is
anybody
paid in
can join.
You have to be paid in sweat. So anyone who's out there working hard, and it became like a motivational thing. Like we were always trying to keep ourselves accountable, by doing cool stuff. And it's like, yeah, not trying to say like, oh, we're just working out all the time. But it's like trying to help people motivate and keep us in check for the hunting season. Hunting season's come up, and then it started to spread outside our core group to now I get tagged in a lot of stuff. GOHUNT's being tagged in a lot of stuff about the Sweaty Hat Club. Just people out there doing stuff, and it's like, Ryan Bailey did one the other day.
Bailey did?
Yeah, he was like mowing his grass. He's like, "Does this count?" And I was like,
"Yes,
that
counts."
You're still sweaty.
That's the kind of Sweaty Hat Club I'm up on.
You're the dad hat Sweaty Hat Club.
Dad hat Sweaty Hat Club mowing the lawn.
So yeah, it's just a transition into motivating people, and we're all super excited for hunting season, and want to stay accountable and be the best shape we can be in. And
what do you think the reach is of the Sweaty Hat?
Oh, it's grown. Like I've been tagged in so many Sweaty Hat posts, and the funny thing is, like, we're starting to see, like, any hat works, but it's nice when we're seeing some GOHUNT hats too.
Yeah,
and I think it's taken on.
Yeah, I mean, I've been following along. Seems like
why aren't you participating? I know you run every single day. I know you have a Sweaty Hat every day, but you're not a social guy.
I do every day.
You're just that silent warrior.
I mean, I don't know. It might be my age. A little older, and I'm just like, I don't know. I think at one point I said, I'm kind of accountable to myself every day anyway.
Yeah, you work in the shadows.
I think at one point I said, you ought to be out having a Sweaty Hat every day anyway. But I think it's cool. I've been following along. It's kind of fun. Mm-hmm. I sent you a pic of a Sweaty Hat.
Yeah, Trail sent me a picture, text message.
Yeah,
not on Instagram.
Text, no.
He's like, "Does this count as a Sweaty Hat Club?"
Yeah.
And it was his hat drenched and a bunch of sweat in the ground or trail or wherever it was.
I've been doing a lot more the last 2 weeks. A lot more like rucking.
Okay.
So I got the 50-pound pack loaded up in Stone Glacier, and I've been hitting the treadmill at incline. And I'll sweat when I run, but if I do 4 miles, like 3 miles an hour incline, like I am drenched.
Yeah. I was thinking about picking up one of those rucking packs.
I don't know, man.
Like I have some old SG frames I could use and throw some concrete on.
I think I just went to Home Depot and I bought a bag of gravel.
Yeah.
And I just duct taped that sucker up, so none of them can fall out, and just throw it on the load shelf.
Would you say the weight was?
I think it's 50 pounds.
50 pounds is a lot. 50 pounds feels different when it's that like
just
Yeah.
dead, dense weight.
I will say, like the first day on it, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, my legs need to get back used to this. The glutes were burning a little bit, and I thought, yeah, I should have started this 2 months ago, but at least I'm doing it now. It feels pretty good, and every day it gets easier. So I've been trying to do more of that and less running at this point. So, but I've been sweaty hat.
That's my problem though right now because I'm trying to gain weight. Everyone knows my whole thing. I'm trying to hit 200 pounds.
Did you hit 200? Are you
No.
still? No, you're back down.
I'm back down now.
Yeah.
I was at 188.9 this morning.
Wow.
Yeah. So I've been over 190 for a while. The highest I got was like 194. And so I've been running a lot, obviously. I'm still trying to incorporate a bunch of gym workouts and use my home gym, do a bunch of deadlifts and squats. But like, I got to increase my calories again. Like, I love to run. That's my problem. But the thing is, though, again, I feel like I can crush the mountains right now. Like, I feel like I'm perfect. Like, I don't know what 200 pounds is going to give me being like 190, but being jacked like I am right now. Like,
just more weight to carry around.
more weight to carry around, more times.
I mean,
more
why
muscle to
not?
cramp.
Why not be lean and mean?
Yeah, because the other weekend I went and summited a peak on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I only had like, 15, 20 pounds on my back. It was just basically water. I had my camera, had my Stone Glacier backpack on. But I felt like I flew up that mountain and I was never tired. Yeah, it's lightweight, so I should be able to go up there, but I felt great.
Yeah.
Like, I'm feeling good this summer. Like, all the workouts I've been doing, trying to get into this. Like, I'm excited. Got to keep that Sweaty Hat Club going.
Season's coming quick. I mean, as you talked about Lorenzo, I can't believe he's leaving on a hunt this week. This is crazy to me.
It's insane.
It just got real in a hurry. Yeah, my archery deer tag in Utah starts the 19th of August, which is only, 3 weeks, I guess?
Isn't it crazy, though? Like, how fast the season comes.
Summer always flies for me. I had Dirk on my podcast, Dirk Durham, and he got out and hung some trail cameras, and we were just talking about the summer and how it was going and scouting and like all the preseason prep that goes into getting ready for your season. And it seems like every year I have these big goals of like, I'm going to scout, 15, 20 days. I'm going to work out, which I do anyway. And I've been shooting my bow every day, which is, all that's like in line, but like those always sneak up on me. It's like all of a sudden it's opening day and like summer just flies by.
And it's sad to say, but sometimes I'm like, shit, I wish I had a couple more weeks before my hunt starts.
Oh, it's not sad. I always wish I really do.
Cause I'm always never like, so much work stuff goes into before I leave on a hunt. Like, it's kind of hard for me to go on a true hunt because content never rests. And so I have work stuff going on. Obviously I don't have, I'm not married or don't have kids or anything like that, but like, it's just insane. Like, I have to prep for all this stuff going on. I'm trying to get my food dialed for all these hunts I'm going on. I got to try to order food because who knows, is food going to sell out here sometime soon, or make sure I have all my gear dialed.
I'm a last minute kind of guy when it comes to food.
Yeah.
All the
it's
other,
like packed the last night.
All the other things, make sure that my bow's dialed, tuned, shooting broadheads good, all my gear put together and stuff. Food's literally the day before I leave usually.
Yeah.
So
do you ever like, if you have a hunt in 2 weeks, when are you putting all your gear together?
I would say before I leave on a hunt, probably 2 to 3 days before I leave on a hunt.
Yeah,
as far as like
same.
just gear,
It kind of stresses me out if I do it too early, because then I worry like
that you forgot something.
that I forgot something.
And then
Even though I have my checklist, because I make those Excel spreadsheets and I run through everything, but it's like, I don't know, it just feels more exciting to me staying up super late, grinding through the process and like throwing all my gear in my backpack and then crossing it off and doing it a few days before.
Yeah, a couple days usually. And then my food's usually literally the day before I leave. And every time I leave on a hunt, I'm always like, oh, I can't believe I'm going on a hunt tomorrow. Like, tomorrow's opening day. It just sneaks up on me. But yeah, summer's flying. It's been hot.
Have you been scouting?
I got some cameras out. Haven't even been back to check them. I got to get those pulled. Obviously.
What was that called? They're soaking?
Yeah, they're soaking. That's it. Yeah,
get your cams
yeah,
soaking
they're
out there?
marinating out there. So I don't know if there'll be a thing on them or not. I got to get them pulled before the first anyway. So I'll have to make a trip over there pretty quick.
And then what are you going to base any of that research on? Like, if you see a buck, what are you going to do?
Oh, if I see a buck,
you're going to hone in on that little area and then try to comb it.
Sure. Yeah, if there's a buck, I'll just camp out. I'm there, until I can find him and kill him.
So you try to go put boots on the ground after that fact, after you check the trail cameras?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Usually trail cameras, to me anyway, like trail cameras just a tool. And really for deer, I think it's less important for elk because I talked to Dirk about this too. I mean, if you get a picture of a bull or bulls, July, August, the chances of you finding them and killing him in, September. Maybe you might have like a few days of the first part of September. If you've got a tag that opens up in August, you might have a chance at those bulls. But generally speaking, man, when they start to move and look for cows, I mean, it's really hard to target a bull early season. They really do start to move a ton. So I would say elk is probably a whole lot less important, but I feel like if I can find a buck in July, muley, or August, I can pretty well figure out the glassing points, pick that landscape apart, and probably find him through maybe about the first part of October.
Yeah. I did notice that on your last podcast. I don't know much about elk, but that discussion, seems sound to me. That's more important for deer, obviously, than elk, because elk roam around all the place. And
it's cool. I mean, it's cool to get a picture of a big bull.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's damn tough to find a bull once they start cruising for cows.
I don't know how many people view your podcast, but I think I'm one of your number one fans.
Thanks for listening, Brady.
I've listened to all 4 episodes. I'm just trying to get your views up.
Yeah, you listen to them multiple times so that I get extra.
Yeah, different emails, different logins.
Yeah, I don't know how many people are listening. I guess we'll find out.
We should start tracking that pretty soon.
Yeah, probably should. Find out if it's worth it. Now here's the thing: is like even if nobody listens, like I'm having a good time talking to people.
And that's what I like about your podcast. I think you said it in one of your earlier episodes. You just want to kind of have guests on there that you can also learn from.
Yeah, and it's fun.
I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, Dirk's always fun to catch up.
He's
with.
hilarious.
Yeah, Dirk's a funny dude.
Such a funny guy.
Yeah, I think just before we started recording, he had a just absolute zinger, and I was bummed out.
It wasn't hot yet.
I was bummed out that I didn't get it. I wanted to go back, but he is a funny guy. Yeah, and it was interesting to me. I listened back to it just to maybe pull some clips and stuff so we could put some up for social. But I think at one point he mentioned that he'd been hunting elk or calling elk and hunting elk. I think he said for 30 years.
30-something years.
Yeah, and when I was listening to that, I thought, man, I mean, I've been hunting for probably 30 years, I guess, exactly 30 years actually today, not today, but
whoa,
but 30 years. But as he said that, I thought, man, that's a long time. That's a lot of experience calling elk,
Imagine how many bulls he's touched,
man,
with his call and all those experiences, all those different techniques he learned.
Talk to, he had some good tips too. He had some things, just little things. I think about it all when we had, Mark on Livesay.
Yep.
Yeah, we had Mark on. I went back through and listened to that, and even it's like I said at the end of that podcast, like I'm finding like little tips and tricks just in things he said. So I definitely need to kind of spruce up my e-scouting game. But same thing with Dirk. Talking to him, he mentioned some things that I hadn't really thought of. One of the things that he mentioned I thought was interesting, and I'll mention it now since maybe nobody listened to my podcast, so you'll get it here. He talked about hunting like high pressure areas and, like an OTC tag in Colorado or Idaho.
This is a really good section.
Something like that. And he talked about how when you look at a map or you look at an area and you kind of see the jump off points for people, whether it's a trailhead or, a side of the road or something where somebody can, jump off and access an area to hunt elk. And he's like, that's where everybody's going to talk to those bulls from those same spots. They're going to kind of start their calling the same way. And if you think like another hunter, like what makes the most sense for another hunter? Like if this guy was cruising this landscape, what are the areas that he's going to hit and what areas is he going to call from? Don't do that.
Yeah, do the opposite.
Do the opposite. Maybe find a different angle on them.
Go down the drainage a little bit in the thick stuff where no one wants to drop down that elevation because you have to climb back up again. So do something different. Think outside the box.
Maybe dive into the bottom and call from them to the bottom. See if you can get them going from a different direction. Because I think you had a good point. I think probably they do get habituated to just hearing calling from the same general areas. And they're like, shit, if I go over there, I'm going to run into a hunter and I'm going to have some trouble. So I'm just going to avoid it.
Yeah.
So that was a good little section. Like it's nothing overly complicated. A lot of things in hunting, I feel like are like that. They're just like things that you just maybe didn't think about it that way.
Yeah. I even thought it was a really good discussion too about how he was saying, he's like, I think even real elk get hung up on real elk.
Yeah.
Like we talk about like, you're calling and a bull gets hung up. It happens all the time. But he's like, I think elk get hung up on elk. Like it makes sense when he was starting to talk about that. Like,
yeah, I mean, you don't want to fight if you don't have to, right? No. Yeah. And I think elk, I think if you think about it, same with mule deer. Elk are obviously not as skittish as like a coos deer or mule deer,
elk are superior.
Definitely not a whitetail.
Did you say elk are superior then?
I just mean all animals are skittish, right? I mean, every ungulate out there is skittish because everything is trying to kill them. So it would make sense to me that they, in every situation, unless they're just deep in love during the rut, they're going to approach a situation a little bit.
Yeah, they're going to be a little bit cautious.
Yeah, a little bit cautious of it. So, yeah, that was a good tip. Dirk's a good visit. That's a good dude. It was interesting to me, like every time I do one of those podcasts on my own, because I'm not that big of a talker generally, and I'm thinking, man, how am I going to carry conversation here for an hour? But yeah, I was really surprised, man. I did an hour and a half with Dirk, and he's just full of good tips. So it was cool. It was fun. That's been a fun little project. Hopefully it gains a little bit more traction. I got some ideas as far as just like some production quality, just some sound issues and stuff. But
that's gonna be hard having remote guests, and I always feel that same way when I'm a remote guest on a podcast. I worry about that audio because normally it's just my iPhone earbuds and
And like I said, I'm not that big of a talker, so it's been surprising to me the amount of just like effort and like having to get myself up for those, kind of get myself talked into it. I have to really work at it. So it definitely doesn't come easy. I'm not nearly as gifted as like my youngest kid Owen, who could talk to absolutely anybody anywhere for hours.
Yeah,
but it's coming. It's good. How about you? Podcast? You can do your own podcast?
There's a rumor.
There is a rumor.
We never really said anything.
We never really have.
But yeah, there's a rumor. I'm going to be starting my own podcast.
I think what we should do is we should get through hunting season.
Yeah.
Let's not dive into another podcast.
That's what I've kind of told them all right now. Like I want to wait maybe till 2024, maybe start getting some in the can later in the year and then release it. But again though, like I enjoy what we do right here with Big Hunt Guys. Like I enjoy this platform. I enjoy talking to you, Trail, obviously talking to Lorenzo, and some of our guests we've obviously talked to. But I'm kind of intrigued though. And like I might even be jacked with a solo podcast every now and then, just like random thoughts from Brady, Yeah.
I had somebody hit me up the other day and they said, you should try to do some solo ones. They said that, I don't know who they were listening to, but they said that some of the most popular episodes that some producer or whatever had done were just solo episodes. I think Huberman's, a lot of his are solo. I mean, a lot of people do solo podcasts. I've only ever did one and I tried it and it was hard.
Yeah, you have to really plan it out.
Very hard for me.
Have a conversation to yourself the whole time. And
really, really tough for me.
So that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
I'm kind of excited though.
Yeah.
Talk about some stuff.
What else you been doing? Been shooting your gun?
I kind of been taking a little bit of a sidestep shooting my gun.
No.
Yeah.
Target panic. with the gun.
No,
Knock on wood.
Yeah, no. I shot my gun a lot in the early part of the summer when it was really cool out. Obviously, I went to Ryan Lampers's Western Hunting Summit. Did a long range shooting course there. Shot a ton of ammo then, and that was just 3 weeks ago or whatever. So, and then I did a bunch more seminars since then. So I've been kind of busy a little bit, and started scouting. So a lot of my time's been spent prepping, e-scouting.
How'd that go?
And then getting in the boots on the ground. Oh my goodness.
It's good to get out.
Yeah. So the funny thing is I called Trail the second I got some service. And I was like, I can tell why people enjoy, scouting these mountain carp because they are so easy to find.
This time of year they are.
This time of year they are phenomenally fun to find because they're just
like a big yellow school bus.
The yellow school bus just stands out. They're up. Like I was seeing, bulls walking around at 4:30 in the afternoon when it's 85, 90 degrees out on the mountain.
Yeah. Got to eat.
They got to eat always. And the vegetation this year, my goodness.
Yeah, all the video I saw that you had, I couldn't believe how green everything. It should be. We're still July. I guess we're in July, but like you get into early August, mid-August, you're starting to cure out a lot of those grasses. But man, everything was so green.
Yeah, the snowpack was crazy. I was watching bulls walk across giant snowfields. Like that was super cool to see. Saw the fair I saw a few of the fair species out there. Mule deer were creeping around, but
see any contenders?
No, I saw a post by some guy. I wish I remember what it was, but I screenshotted it. He had a post from sometime around late July or mid-July, a couple years ago, and mid-July right now, and it was very surprising what a 4-point looked like on a normal year that wasn't a hard winter, and what some of these bucks are looking like right now. Like. I think a lot of them are stunted because of going after the hard winter.
Seems it. I
haven't seen a solid buck yet on my boots on the ground scouting.
I've seen a lot of posts and talked to a lot of people that put a lot of time in, and kind of the general consensus, except for Arizona, which did you see those two bulls that just got smacked? Yeah. 458, I think. 456, I think, was that one bull.
Yeah, so here's the guy.
458.
Give him a little shout out. Bucks and Browns forever. That's his Instagram handle. So he had this post right there, Trail.
Yikes.
And then a similar date, and it's like a mature deer based on mass and everything, but look how much more stunted the growth is, and look at the date down there in the corner.
Is that the same buck?
No, it's probably a different buck,
Gotcha.
but I'm assuming it's a,
Gotcha.
you know, I won't say a state, but it's one of the mountain states, obviously.
Yeah, a lot of people I've been talking to, just seems like antler growth isn't quite what was maybe potentially expected.
Yeah.
And the only thing I can think of is just
The summer was nuked last year too because of the summer habitat. Like,
I just think green up was so late. That's what my gut tells me. So I think on a normal, so for example, I mean, I'm most familiar with Utah, southern Utah, right? Most years by March. So people are getting out shed hunting. It's green.
Yeah.
Like, and it's warm. You know, you're out short sleeve t-shirts. You might wearing some gaiters because maybe there's some snow left over. But for the most part, like, it's warmed up and you're definitely starting to see green grass everywhere. This year, I don't think you really even saw it until April, you know, mid-April. And I think, you know, those bulls, same with the bucks. I mean, a buck can shed anywhere from January all the way through, you know, March, April. I would say kind of that time frame is the biggest. But you know, as soon as those animals are dropping their antlers, you know, they're out feeding, they're eating, and, you know, they're replacing body condition, and they're putting anything else into antler growth. I just don't think they got that flush of like really good green protein, you know, grass. And I think they just didn't get the feed early. It seems like they're behind. I don't think they're going to catch up.
Yeah.
I don't think.
I will say though, the elk I saw, they're looking pretty good.
Yeah. Well, I think you're going to have pockets. I think you've got Nevada, which I think Nevada's relatively dry state.
Yep.
You know,
And the moisture we got was really good.
I don't think you have a lot of high altitude, and even, you know, the animals can get out into some winter range. I mean, you've heard
a few reports of some winter kill in some areas, like especially like the Ruby Mountains and places like that. But
for the most part, I think those places, those animals have winter range that they can go to. I think, you know, Arizona, I think you're going to have, obviously, I mean, two bulls that are over 450.
Yeah, already got shot. Yeah.
I mean, unbelievable.
Yeah, those bulls are crazy.
Unfreaking believable. And, you know, talking to guides that work in Arizona, it sounds like they're seeing the same thing. They're seeing, you know, a lot of good bulls. I would expect the same thing from New Mexico. But I think, you know, central Utah, north, Idaho, Montana, Colorado, western Colorado, I think it might be kind of tough year as far as trophy potential.
Did you see recently how many tags were still left over in the Idaho return back?
No.
There was a pile
There
still.
were?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Like they weren't picked up right away.
When did that go live?
I mean, this was last week on a Thursday.
This
but
last round.
even the month prior one, there was tags 2 weeks afterwards. A pile of tags, deer and elk.
I'll have to pull it up and see.
Yeah.
I still haven't bought an elk tag yet. I guess Colorado's going on sale August 1st, but that was kind of, I'm going to buy I got to buy a Utah one. I'll just go out and shoot a spike, but
yeah, I've been enjoying because obviously, you know, I'm not going to say exactly what tag I have. I have a pretty premium tag for elk. And it's been fun in a way, just doing something different. And I'm trying to I'm enjoying the process. Obviously I'm not a big elk hunter. And I've kind of set myself up this way of just having, you know, metric shit tons of points for elk in every Western state. And eventually I'm going to, you know, burn those. But just being up there, glassing those bulls, you know, I see 35, 40 bulls in 3 days of scouting. Didn't see an absolute toad. You know, what we were looking at it, like maybe 340, 350 bulls, a couple of those ones I saw. I know there's some bigger bulls in there. The country's giant. It's definitely BTX 115 country. Like I guarantee there's a bunch of bulls I couldn't glass because it's just so many different folds and stuff like that. But I'm looking forward to the process because, like you said it multiple times, like you kill a buck or kill a bull scouting.
Yeah. Opening days for killing.
Opening days for killing. And so I'm putting in a lot of effort because I got to do this tag justice.
Yeah.
And, you know,
probably won't have another one.
I won't have another one this good. Like, let's be honest, this is a good tag.
Yeah. If you're going to capitalize, this is the one to do it on.
Yeah. So I've already done one scouting trip. I'm going to go mid to late August and do another one. Middle of September, I'm going to go again. Early October. And I'm going to do 2 or 3 days before my hunt.
Yeah.
So by the time my hunt starts, I'm hoping, it's going to sound crazy, but I'm hoping to have at least like 15 days of scouting. And that's just me being like yeah, it sounds great. Oh, Brady works in a hunting company. He's scouting all the time. Well, no, I work all week just like everyone else does.
Weekends.
Yeah, and these are all weekends. So yeah, I don't have a family, so it makes it a little bit easier to run up there. But I'm going to try to get at least 15 days of scouting in, and hopefully.
That's kind of the magic number, I think. I mean, I try to obviously try to get as much as you can, but when I've actually drawn permits that I spent some points on, I like to get right around that 15. I probably did 15, close to 15 last year on the manti when I had that elk tag, but and it pays off. I mean, it pays dividends for sure.
Like I already, even going there the first time, I e-scouted it, and sure, I leaned on some people who I had some good intel on and stuff like that. But like now I know what the mountain looks like in person. I took a bunch of photos of what the terrain looks like while I was driving. I was taking dropping waypoints and taking photos of that country. I know where I'm going to go now next time to try to find, it's not a lot of tags, which is great. I'm not going to have a lot of competition.
Do you have a number you're holding out for, or do you just look? What is it for you?
No, I do have kind of a number. I really want a bull over 370.
Yeah. That's a tall order.
It's a tall order. It's a very tall
rough
order.
road to hoe.
Yeah. It's like, it's an open sight muzzleloader. And, I'm just good. The problem is the country's so big.
Yeah.
And that's what I think I need to do my boots on the ground scouting is go cross off other areas. Because right now I kind of want to find a bull that's off by itself that's still going to be there. That's obviously the rut's going to pull them into different places, and they're probably going to be different spots right now where I'm scouting them. But I want to learn every little area on this mountain. I want to know every access point, every place I can glass from, all these different backup spots. I want to have A to Z dialed, because I know once I get there, obviously it's a totally different time frame than right now. But
yeah,
I feel like going in, I'm going to have a solid plan with all these other scouting days. And every time I'm going, I'm just going to check out new areas. I'm not going to go,
same spot.
Why waste my time going look at the same bulls? I already know there's bulls there, and I already know there's bulls I missed.
So here's a question for you. Let's say you find a bull. And
the bull?
Let's say you find a bull, and he is 380 plus.
Yep.
He's a 7x7. He's a straight 6 with kickers.
Ooh, trail.
And
I don't even know what that looks like.
He's got devil tines, and he's the bull.
Yep.
You go back and look at him every time you go back scouting.
I think then I might.
Yeah.
I'm going to change it for sure.
That's tough.
The thing is too,
it's
though.
It's tough for elk because by the time your hunt rolls around, who knows where he might
be. Exactly. So what I might do is I know where he's at. I might go look at places below him, look at places above him, look at the drainage behind him, look at all the areas in the vicinity maybe, and see what it looks like. Because right now I haven't seen any cows. I've only seen one cow. So, I kind of know where they're going to rut. I kind of know what they're going to do a little bit after the rut. They're still going to be in some of these little areas, but I kind of want to find these little hell holes where I think some bulls might pull into post rut.
Yeah.
But, the rut could be a little bit late. Who knows?
Yeah. That's the thing, man. And I don't know. That's the advice I'd give you is it's one thing to fall in love with a bull and just want to go back and look at him every single time you're out there, especially preseason.
Yeah.
And just, get video of him, check up on him, see how he's doing.
Yeah. But it's might as well check out other places because who knows, I could find something.
Well,
I could find another one just the same size somewhere else.
The reality is it's highly unlikely that he'll be in the same area.
Oh yeah.
So
that's what concerns me.
It would almost behoove you, in my opinion, to really start to check out some other areas that you think might be a little bit better post rut.
And this is why I need an elk guy to talk to.
It's tough though. I know what it's like, man. You fall. Well, I'm a little bit different because I mostly archery hunt, so it's I do have a chance for the most part. But yeah, it's easy to fall in love with a bull preseason and just start to really go out and look at him every single time.
Yeah, because I hear a lot. Bulls can move quite a good distance to go.
Man, they can. Yeah, they can roam. I would definitely want to know where the cows are. Just to see, in proximity, if those bulls pull off, they find the cows and they're rutting really hard, at least you'll get an idea of where they're rutting, and then, potentially look in the areas adjacent to where will this bull pull off?
Yeah. And I'm hoping some of these elk pull off in some of these nasty
I'm sure they
pieces
will.
of the country, because that's going to be my advantage.
Yeah. And you'll have some hunts prior to yours.
Yeah. But it's my biggest strength is using my legs, using my legs and using my optics. I'll hike further than anyone else. I'll hike in the dark. I don't care. I'll do whatever I need to do to kill an animal.
Not afraid of the dark?
Not afraid of the dark. Not afraid of the boogeyman anymore.
Yeah.
But so I want some bulls in some nasty country, because if they get in the nasty country, it's going to limit other hunters. And I'm hoping that happens. I'm obviously you want, sometimes a layup, but also I want to suffer a little bit. Everyone knows that.
Oh, I like a layup when I can get it. I like the alley-oop dunk if I can get one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah. So, but I'm you know, I want a bull I can go after. I want to be able to bull. I can try to glass up. So I'm just going to do my best right now to check out the whole entire mountain. But at what I'm seeing right now, it's looking pretty good.
That's fun. I'm excited. The thing about talking about hunting is that I get excited to go hunting.
Yeah.
And I can't get too excited because I probably really can't get out into the field here at least for another week. So I better just rein it in.
And what's crazy, so we're recording this, July 25th right now.
It's Pioneer Day.
Oh, that's a big thing
in
Cedar.
Utah. Yeah, this is the place.
Oh, is it Utah in general or just Cedar?
Utah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like the holiday there for Utah where, you know, the Saints came into the valley and Brigham Young said, this is the place. So they had fireworks last night. My dog was going nuts. She didn't like that.
Not a fan of fireworks.
Yeah. Anyway, 25th. I interrupted
25th.
you.
I'll be hunting in a week.
Yeah, that's right.
Like
Yeah.
I'm literally going hunting in a week.
Yeah, that's right. You drew an Oryx tag.
Yeah, in New Mexico.
Excited?
Getting really excited.
Yeah. It's off range?
Off range.
Okay. What does that entail? As far as like, how do you hunt that? Do you know much about it?
I know limited amounts, but I know it's going to be heavy glassing. It's kind of like a hybrid
Like an antelope hunt?
hunting. It really is. You know, driving around, covering country is going to be the biggest thing.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, I'm looking for a giant Oryx. I'll probably never touch one of these tags
What's
again.
a big Oryx?
36 is what people really look for, but 40 is like giant.
Is there some, have you done any research as far as like the length of their face?
No.
Okay. Because that's where my head goes. I'm like, okay, how long is the length of an Oryx face? And then compare that to, you know, the horns. I about said antlers. Yeah, compare that to the horns, but no,
none of that yet. Luckily, the funnest thing is though, like, so my dad is going to fly out and join me.
Oh, okay.
I asked my dad if he wanted to come and do it. He's like 100%. He's retired. He's all excited for it. So he's going to fly to Vegas and then we're going to drive all the way over together and go hunting. And, you know, I applied for this hunt in the guide draw.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to be hunting with, you know, Ryan Gentry and Blackhorn. So it's going to be fun to have one of my homies.
Cole going to come out with you?
Yep, Cole's going to be there too. And so they're obviously very experienced.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just going to go have a good time and try to find the biggest Oryx we can.
I want you to do the tactic of where you drag roads with a chain link fence in the back, just to scrub it for tracks.
Scrub it for tracks later.
I want you to find a track and track one.
Should I do that technique?
That's what I would love to see it.
I was kind of thinking about building a high rack in the back of my truck.
That'd be pretty sweet.
You know, just I don't know what to expect.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know either. I mean, I don't know how much topography there is down there at Glass. I would assume it's probably a lot, just like you're saying, hunting antelope, just cruising country.
Yeah, I've done a lot of, you know, a little bit of research here and there, and a lot of people say like, you know, it's gonna be harder to lay prone and try to shoot with my rifle off a bipod, so it might be shooting off a tripod.
Mm-hmm.
And so a bunch of like this, like you talked about shooting a rifle. Like later this week, I'm gonna start shooting my rifle in the morning quite a bit.
Do you ever practice that?
I practice it every now and then, but it's not something I like.
You like the prone?
I like prone. Like I've gotten made fun of it so many times about talking about the best way to kill an animal. I feel like I owe it to an animal to shoot the best position possible. And to me, the best position possible is shooting prone. I'm the most stable. I'm the most calm. My weapon is totally dialed. And then I got ripped apart. Like, oh yeah, you can shoot off a tree branch. You can shoot off the side of a fence post. You can shoot on a fence. Like yeah, sure, you can do all that stuff. But is that the best way to do it for that animal? Making sure I can kill that animal in one clean shot.
You know what's not a good thing to shoot off?
What?
A barbed wire fence. Like it just isn't steady. So yeah, you definitely.
I've heard.
You want to go to the pole. You don't want to just. Yeah, you don't want to use the actual wire itself. Yeah. It's too much shake in it.
Yeah, so I shot off a tripod a little bit last year, just practicing, because I have a full Archery rail on the bottom of my rifle, so I can just slide it on, you know, my VA5 head or whatever tripod I have. And I was really comfortable, you know, to 650. Like it was very easy. I mean, to shoot 650, like knees standing up.
Yeah.
But it's just something that I'm going to be practicing more the next couple of days because.
Yeah. I would imagine it'd be pretty tough to get a prone position shot on an Oryx.
Yeah. I literally have, so today's Tuesday. I have Wednesday to Friday morning to practice. And then I have Monday and Tuesday of next week. And we're driving out Tuesday.
And you're gone.
I'm gone.
How many days do you have booked for that?
I think the 3rd through the 9th of August.
Do you have any idea as far as time, how long it might take you to
I heard it can go pretty quick.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it can go. If you find them, it can go pretty quick. But it's just like I want a good representation of the species.
Yeah.
Like sure, I'm trophy hunting, but like I want to hunt an old mature animal. I want something cool. I don't want something broken. I want something just clean, pretty.
What are you gonna do with it?
I'm gonna do
Besides eat it?
I'm gonna do a big pedestal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You
big
gonna mount
pedestal.
it, shoulder mount it?
Shoulder mount
You're
it.
not gonna rug it, huh?
No, they are gorgeous.
Man, I think I'd have to Euro that and then rug it.
Yeah. And so the cool thing is though, like that's why I kind of wanted my dad to go, because my dad's hunted gemsbuck in Africa. Dad, and my mom.
Samesies?
Pretty much samesies.
Are they different species? Do you know?
Honestly, I don't think so. I
don't know why you'd call one an Oryx and the other one a gemsbuck.
I think what would they reintroduce those things?
Local
back in the
dialects, that's what that is.
60s or something like that in New Mexico.
Yeah.
So like my dad shot a big female. My mom shot a male.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first hunt my mom's ever done in her life. Last hunt
in Africa.
In Africa, yeah, she shot a big gemsbuck, and so like my dad's seen them before. Obviously, they're similar. Again, I don't know if they're the exact same species. We probably should know that.
I bet they are.
I bet they are.
Samesies.
Yeah, but why do we call them Oryx?
I don't know. Why do Americans do most things they do?
That's true.
That's really cool.
So yeah, I'm enjoying like gonna hunt with my father.
Yeah.
Gonna do something cool. It's gonna be nasty hot. It's not gonna be hot as Vegas though, so I'll be used to it.
Yeah.
I'll be pretty well I'm acclimated to the heat. But it's just like cool hunting a new species, hunting a new terrain, and try to do something differently. And just like, it's gonna be giant optics country. Pretty flat. And I've heard the meat is phenomenal.
That's what they say. Save me steak, will you?
Oh.
Save me package of steaks.
All right. You talk more about elk and give me some more elk advice, and I'll give you some.
You're gonna have plenty of meat in the freezer this year if you work out with an Oryx tag, because I think they're a big animal.
They're a big animal, yeah.
Yeah, so that'll be good. And then if you shoot an elk,
yeah,
well, you're gonna have to start really just eating protein, just wild game all the time.
Good thing that's all I do anyway.
Every meal.
That's literally what I do right now.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
That's why I'm so healthy.
Man, that's cool.
So so it's crazy to think that literally in a week I'll be hunting, and it's August.
Yeah,
it's season's here.
Yeah, I start the 19th. I've just got a general season archery deer tag. I'm just gonna go on my own. Yeah, I think I'll probably take a week, I guess. I don't know if I'll do the opener or the next one. I'll probably just buy an over-the-counter elk tag, so I'll wait till that opens probably to really just take my time off. But yeah, I think I'm just going to go out on my own and see how it goes, which is good. It's fun. It's kind of back to the roots, back to the way I used to like to do it. And, hopefully I've got the dedicated hunter tag. So, I can kind of hold out and be selective.
That's kind of my debacle too, because I also have.
Yeah, you also do.
I have a dedicated hunter tag.
Are you going to give that any effort, you think? Or
that's what's really hard. It's hard for me to decide what I want to do. It's a great water year.
Yeah.
But I have a sick elk tag.
Is this your first year in it?
Yeah, first year in it.
So
I could cough it up, but it's like I don't want to just not go.
I wouldn't cough it up. I mean,
no,
with that program, you can kill 2 deer in 3 years.
Yep.
So even if you ate this year, you can still hunt next year real hard if you have a lean year as far as drawing tags goes.
There might be. Again, I've retired. But
from basketball,
from archery.
Oh yeah,
I might dust off the old bow.
Really?
There might be a thing where I might go out there and use that as a scouting thing, but carry my bow. Mm-hmm. Obviously, I need to practice before I do. I'm not going to just go out there and not practice.
You're not
talking about practice?
Yeah. I think that's what other people do.
Oh, that's the thing. Just pick up a weapon and go.
I think I've said before, one of my favorite things is to go hit like a Walmart, on a Friday and the openers on a Saturday, and just like hang out and watch dudes buying arrows and broadheads and stuff.
So I actually did grab my bow this last weekend.
You shot some arrows?
No, I grabbed all my equipment and set it out. I set it out. I didn't shoot anything yet. But
is that a process? Like if you just set it out and so it looks at you every day?
It looks at me every day. Every time I walk by my bedroom, it's sitting there.
Gives you the look and you're like, okay, eventually you'll pick it up and shoot something through it.
So like the archery hunt, you got some weekends there. And it's just a good chance to get out and do some scouting. And if I see a buck that I really love and it's in a great spot, maybe I'll put a stock on it.
Yeah. Just have a good time.
Yeah.
The cool thing about that dedicated hunter tag, I think it's cool. It's actually kind of a blessing and a curse, if I'm honest, because here's the thing with dedicated hunters. I know that I have archery, muzzleloader, and the rifle season, right?
Yep.
So I go out and I hunt with a bow and I find a buck or 2 bucks, right? And, I'll wait. I'm kind of like looking for the perfect opportunity to go in with a bow. I'm not nearly as aggressive as I would be if I just had the archery tag. Mm-hmm. Like if I just had an archery tag, I'd be way more aggressive and I'd be a lot more calculated, I think. Mm-hmm. I think I'd always keep it in my back pocket as like, muzzleloader hunt. I can go in there and smash him on the opening day of the muzzleloader hunt, So I definitely hunt differently.
And you fully feel those bucks in the same area?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Utah. That's one thing I think is great about Utah. Their muzzleloader hunt starts the last weekend in September and ends the first week October. And those bucks, I mean, if you could find them, I would say from July, all the way August and through September, they're typically within the exact same areas. I mean, all the bucks that I've killed, I've hunted with a bow on dedicated hunter tag. And if I haven't been able to kill them, I've killed them on, opening day of the muzzleloader hunt within a couple 100 yards of where I've been hunting with a bow.
Are you still that guy right now that has a 1X scope? You don't have anything big and dialed on there?
Yeah, no. I have a Thompson Center, or well, it's not an Encore. What's the other one? Omega.
Omega?
I have a Thompson Center Omega with a thumb hole stock. Yeah, and I have a 1-power scope on it. So yeah, and I haven't shot it for a while. So
yeah, what was the last buck you shot? Was it 2017, 2018?
I think so. Yeah, I think it's probably 17. I think.
Yeah, that was a good buck.
Yeah, mid-80s buck. Yeah, it scouted him. Same thing. Just shot him opening day of the muzzleloader hunt, and it's like I said. I wish there's so many times that I've hunted deer with a bow, and I've made stalks and I've blown stalks and it just hasn't worked out. And then I've shot them on opening day of the muzzleloader hunt within 40 yards. Like I've killed, I can think of at least 4 deer that I've hunted really hard with a bow, and then I've killed them on a muzzleloader hunt within 60 yards.
So that's like we're talking before. That's that you're killing them opening day. You've done your work beforehand during the archery hunt.
Yeah,
and didn't seal the deal. But then,
and I can't figure it out. I don't know why when I have a bow in my hand, they are just absolutely unhinged.
60 yards,
yeah. And then I get a muzzleloader, and they just stand there at 60 yards and let me shoot them. Like that biggest buck I shot it. I think he might have been 80, but still, like I could have shot him with a bow.
Gosh.
So I don't know what the deal is with that, and I honestly think it's me. I think it's just a mindset. I think, bow, I feel like I have to be super stealthy because I also have to get to full draw. I have to stay hidden. I have to creep in on them. And like a muzzleloader, I feel like I can just run right at them and, pull it up and shoot.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, but I've been shooting the bow.
Yeah, you just got back from TAC.
Yeah, that was fun. Omar and I and Cody went up. We just went 2 days, Thursday and Friday.
What was that new venue?
They did it at Solitude.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'd done Brighton before. I think they've ping-ponged around a little bit. They did one at Park City. We've been to the one at Big Sky before, which is super fun. But yeah, it was fun, man. It was kind of a last-minute ad, to be honest. I mean, we hadn't planned on attending, but then, talking to Omar and Cody, we thought, hey, maybe we'll run up for a couple of days, and we just booked a couple tee times, I think they call them.
Knock times?
Knock times? I thought it was a tee time. Golf, huh? Yeah, knock times. So yeah, we booked just a couple knock times and shot a couple different courses. It was fun.
Talk to me about, like, in your opinion, the importance you think of a shoot like that. Like, what are you gaining from it as a bow hunter?
I think for one, well, here's where my mind goes. Okay, so I shoot every day. Like I don't remember, to be honest, like the last day that I didn't shoot some arrows, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's in my basement or up at the range, and usually it's up at the range. So I shoot every day, but for the most part, I mean, my local range, I'm shooting. I shoot 100 yards, and I'll shoot 100 yards, but it's like out in the parking lot, maybe on a very, very slight incline. All the targets that go down the canyon, the targets that go up the canyon. I mean, the most difficult shot might be like a 15-degree downhill.
Okay,
maybe a little bit of uphill.
Not a lot of terrain. It's pretty standard stuff. A lot of it's flat. Which is great. It's good just to get reps, and it's good just to build confidence. But one thing that I noticed, and this happens to me every year when I go to one of these shoots, is I get up there, and just like the degree of difficulty. You're shooting side hill, you're shooting downhill, you're shooting uphill, you're shooting through gaps in trees, you're shooting through brush, and really I think that's probably the thing that triggers for me the most. Is just like, okay, here I am, like in an actual real environment, like much more close to a hunting situation, and I started to realize like the difficulty of those types of shots. And I think that's probably the biggest value add for a shoot like that, is it just kind of lets you know, hey, this is a lot harder than just shooting to your local range flat, 40 yards. Do you think that helps for a lot of people too? They realize they need to do a lot more practice after the fact, and they get done with one of those shoots. Like, they think it's easy, the other one shoots like
Yeah.
that, they lose a bunch of arrows or, you know, hit a bunch of tree branches and like,
I sure should hope so.
like you would definitely think
I hope so. I mean, I hope people went home from that. I mean, based
humbled
on
a little bit.
based on the number, I know I did. I mean, the first day we shot the Ultra View course, it was just 15 targets, but most of the targets were small animals, turkeys, rabbits, you know, raccoons, you know, does, but a lot of it was like uphill, you know, downhill through some brush. Not like extreme distances. I think maybe the furthest target was like 70 yards or something. But I know that I came home with it thinking, okay, you know, I think it's good to go to my local range and shoot arrows every day. But I also think it's probably time to take the old Reinhardt 18-1 and kick it down a hill, you know, run up a hill and shoot it up and down, shoot some side hill stuff. Because, the first day I shot okay. I shot all right, but I went back to the hotel that night being like, I didn't shoot nearly as many 10s as I should have, you know. I didn't lose any arrows, but I thought, you know, I should have shot a little bit better. Second day I shot great. Like second day I shot really good. I think I probably only shot, about that second day I only shot, 25 targets? I bet I shot 2 8s maybe.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, like I shot really, really good the second day. Yeah, Cody lost a few arrows.
Cody lost a few arrows.
How many arrows did you lose, Cody? 4?
Cody lost 4 arrows.
Yeah, Cody lost 4, but
I heard he had a little debacle.
he did. Yeah, Cody had a moment. Cody had 2 moments.
Oh,
Yeah. At one point, his back bar bracket got loose,
nice.
got away from him. So we had to find an Allen wrench, a little larger Allen wrench. We got
But
that.
see, that's the good benefit too about going to a shoot like that.
For sure.
Because you realize, you know, checking your gear all the time, torquing things down. Yeah, you traveled, but it's also people travel to go hunting. So yeah, probably got beat up on the airplane or whatever, or driving up there, whatever you guys did. But that happens in hunting.
Yep.
And you know, you have those tools with it to fix it if you're on the mountain.
I know that I shot twice yesterday, actually. I shot yesterday morning and I shot last night because my wife and kids were out of town. So I was like, yeah, what better to do? Go to the archery range and fling some arrows, right? But I went home from TAC and immediately tightened down every set screw on my bow.
Yeah.
You know, so that's just a good thing to do in general. But yeah, that was a good reminder. And then Cody at one point, I think it was towards the end, I think he'd already shot maybe 25 targets or something like that, 24, 23 maybe. Yeah, he pulled back and he had his camera like on his backpack.
Yep.
Yeah, and I thought throughout the day that he might be getting dangerously close to clipping that camera with his string on the stroke. And I think he clipped it and derailed it. Yeah. It's kind of a bummer.
It's a good thing he has a nice friend like you who's gonna set him straight again. I heard.
I put it back on, yeah, but I think he's gonna need a new string for it, and I don't think the axle's bent. I don't think the cam was bent. I think the bearings were good, and it was lucky that he had an arrow. I mean, he had an arrow knocked, and the arrow went zinging. I saw it disappear into the abyss.
Send it.
Yeah, it disappeared, but he derailed it. Darn it.
Whew.
Yeah. But the other thing I was going to tell you, I think that a shoot like that does for you. You know, if you get there early before your knock time, they have like a practice range. And I would say there's probably 50 or so people lined out there. And I'm guilty of this. I don't shoot a lot of, you know, competitive 3D. I don't go to, and even though we have a pretty good circuit there in Utah, I used to go to a lot of those, but now it's just my kids are so busy on weekends. I don't get to go to a lot of them and shoot in front of people. And then I go to the archery range and I shoot just me and my dog.
Yeah.
So like, you know, I don't shoot with anybody. I don't shoot in front of people, you know? And I think you step up there to the line and you've got 50 other people and everybody's kind of, you know, whether you like it or not, everybody's kind of gauging everybody else.
Oh yeah. Everybody's definitely having a little competition. Like you're looking at what people are hitting and where they're missing and
everybody's looking at each other's bows, you know, you're looking at their arrows, you're looking at their setup, their sight, you're kind of looking down the line. At least I am. I'm looking at people's form, you know, I'm watching people punch triggers and, you know, I'm seeing all these things and I mean, shooting in front of people it's just a different vibe. I mean, your
100%.
Your nerves are heightened. You know, it's a good gut check, I think, really for you. And then, you know, the second day when we shot, that course was fairly busy. We had a group in front of us. We had probably 2 groups behind us and it was kind of stacking up at time to time. So, I mean, I shot first every target. So, you know, I might have 15, 20 people standing behind me watching me shoot. And you just don't get that on a day to day. And you're shooting difficult shots. And I think there's a lot of value in that. I mean, it's an added pressure.
Yeah, because eventually you're going to have to realize like, hey, I need to zone out those people behind me.
Yep.
Even though I know they're watching, but it's like, this is my time. Like clear out your thoughts, just like if you were in a hunting situation, had the animal in front of you. Like,
you know what's funny is I find it easier to shoot an animal than I do in front of like 50 people. Like I feel less pressure, like shooting an animal. I feel way more at ease than I do with a bunch of people standing behind me. You know, there was one target, it was a black panther, like 53 yards, and it had its paw out. And Cody was like, I'll give you $20 if you shoot the paw, you know, right in the paw.
Yeah.
And it was uphill. I don't know, maybe 20 degrees. It was, you know, tough shot. And then all the guys behind her, I'll join 20. I don't know what it got up. Yeah, probably got up to, yeah, it probably got up to two.
I guess a little side hustle.
Yeah,
going
220, which is kind of funny. I did, yeah, I hit it in the wrist. So I was like, I don't know, maybe a half inch right. And
did anyone smack it?
No, it was just me. Yeah, just me. Yeah, it was an arrow wrecker. Like if you missed,
So you got a bunch of cash?
no, I didn't hit the paw, man.
Okay, it was actually paw. Okay.
Yeah, I'm paw only.
Yeah.
So,
But speaking of that pressure thing, though, like that is something. Like when I was doing that Western Hunting Summit,
yeah,
like literally at one point in the evening, we all started like, hey, can we go shoot rifles? And I was like, yeah, man, you guys can go shoot. Let's go plink some steel. So we all started shooting again. We've been shooting together, like in our small group, but we split up rifles and archery guys because they had an archery course, and I took the rifle guys out. So us rifle guys were kind of comfortable shooting around each other. But now it's shooting in front of the whole course, the whole school,
group.
basically. So
and
we had like,
you're an instructor there. You're
Yeah.
supposed to be, right? Like
Yeah,
your area of expertise. Is
so we
being
started
there.
shooting for a while, and all of a sudden we decided to stretch it out a little bit. And so I picked out a little rock face that was a mile away. And so here I am laying on the ground. Now I have like 60, 70 some people behind me, all watching, pressure's on, you know, shooting at a mile.
Yeah,
Like that adds
yeah, it's
an
pressure.
extra feel.
Yeah, for
Because
sure.
like you can talk a big game, like, oh yeah, Brady, I see you shoot all the time on Instagram. Like, can you actually do it in real life? Is that just fake or whatever? And I'll tell you, it's something different shooting with the big group, and to be able to hit a target at a mile
yeah,
is difficult no matter what. And then do it with a bunch of people watching you and be able to still be composed and still do everything right, still do your breathing process, still do all your, you know, your whole basically shot process to execute perfectly, press that trigger and
press
hit
it.
it, press it, don't squeeze it.
Yeah,
And then like they hear the feedback afterwards when you smack a rock at a mile.
good feeling.
It's a
in
pretty
it.
good feeling. It's a pretty cool experience.
I think a lot of that's just confidence building.
Yeah.
I mean, that was another thing I thought about. Like I said, I shot okay on Thursday. I mean, I shot good. Friday I shot great, and you know it's like, I mean, I don't know, it is what it is, but it builds confidence. Like I came home and went up and shot that the next morning. So
Gets
Saturday,
you excited to keep shooting.
yeah, Saturday went up and shot great. Saturday morning, you know, Sunday, yesterday went up, shot twice, shot great. It's just like this compounding thing. You know, you go up and you prove to yourself that you can do it. You know, you can do it in front of people. You can do it in, you know, tough terrain, different environment, you know, real hunting situations. You just starts to build confidence. I don't know. I think so much of archery is just, at least for me, it is, you know, it's confidence. You just build it up.
Speaking of confidence, then, like, what's some of the stuff you do to make yourself more confident? Like, what's your like shot process like? What do you do with your feet? Like,
Yeah.
walk me through like some of your like training things you kind of do, or things you try to work on when you're out by yourself practicing.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's another interesting thing too. I mean, we filmed some stuff for social and we did a little video. I think it's a really good practice. Like if you go to one of those, have your buddies film you, whether it's for social or, you know, just for your own, you know, good, you know, film yourself shooting, film the whole process, everything that you go through, your follow through. And I know that since we got back, I've been kind of looking at some of that and thinking, yeah, there's definitely some things I need to work on, you know, follow through being one of them. Follow through is kind of a little, I don't know, what do you call that? Thorn in my side a little bit. Sometimes I get sloppy on my follow through, you know, I start to like fall off to the left.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we did a content piece and we'll probably put it out, but there's
Walk through a bunch of tips.
Yeah. A bunch of tips. Yeah.
But I think right there though, even saying the whole, like having someone video you, like you said, not some to say like, oh, you're going to video it and throw it on social, like video it for educational purposes.
Yeah, throw it on social. Ask people.
Yeah, that's a good point.
What do you think?
That.
I mean, you might have to have some thick skin. But
Hey, your drawling's a little too long.
Yeah. Or hey, your follow through sucks.
Yeah.
Or hey, you punched the trigger on.
But
that
you do
one.
learn a lot. I've even done that before shooting rifles.
Mm-hmm.
Like you learn a lot about your body position. You think your body, I think maybe sometimes I'm square behind the rifle, but I'm actually off a little bit. Like you can see that then on the video where you think you're doing things right the whole time. But if you like use that as a training tool to look at yourself when you're practicing.
Yeah, and it makes a difference. I mean, going into that shoot up there that we shot, there's definitely things that I was thinking about, and then coming home from that event, I've continued to think about them. So like, I'll just run through some of them. One of them being, this is kind of a simple one, but like knowing the range of an animal is everything when you're bow hunting, right? The last animal like I missed, like really missed, was because me and my rangefinder.
Is that elk?
Yeah, I missed a bull in Arizona on a late hunt, and I'd ranged him downhill. I'd waited on him all afternoon to stand up and move into a shooting position, which he did perfectly. Like he did his part totally. Mm-hmm. And, I have the compensation on my rangefinder, and this wasn't like so steep. It was a good range, right? Mm-hmm. So I ranged him. My Leica rangefinder, I have to wait just a split second to give me the estimated, the calculated range. For whatever reason, just spaced it. I took the first.
Oh, you took the first one, which is the line of sight.
Yeah, I took the first range, line of sight, shot him, shot right over the top of his back. I mean, left to right, it was absolutely perfect. I made a great shot. In fact, I remember that was like one of those shots when it goes off, you're like, yep, made a phenomenal shot.
I remember that story you were saying. It was like if you picture perfect shot,
mm-hmm.
execution, everything was just money.
Yep.
You watch that arrow, you're like
the whole way.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, he's dead. Oh wait, what are those sparks? From that broadhead hitting a rock just over the top of his back. I gave him a haircut essentially, but that was one tip. I mean, that I would cover and I would give people. And I think it's great if you go to a shoot like that, is just practice using your rangefinder. I mean, if I go to a range. Up my local range, I don't ever use my rangefinder because I know all the ranges. I shoot it every day. I don't even pull it out. But you go to a shoot like that, you're pulling out your rangefinder, you're ranging the targets, and you're practicing using the compensation. If you use a dialer, a slider sight, a single pin, or mm-hmm. whatever it is, you're moving that into position. I mean, on the practice range, I ranged an animal, dialed my sight. Didn't really pay attention, got sloppy. It was a long one. I think it was a 96 yarder. Cut loose, and I heard it hit foam, and I was like, oh, that was weird. I don't see my arrow up there. Well, I got lucky. I hit a target in front of that target. Like it was 20, 30 yards short. I made a great shot on it, by the way. It wasn't what I was shooting at, but that's what I'm saying is like just, I think it's definitely beneficial to practice using your rangefinder. And if you're using a slider sight, whether it's a single pin or double pin, or if you're shooting long range, to actually paying attention and sliding your sight down to the proper range.
Well, what do you think the importance of, like you said, the angle cut? Like, do you always trust that rangefinder when it's giving that angle cut, or do you want to kind of verify? And is there a way to make it more accurate? Or
I mean, you can. And I'm not an expert on this because I don't hunt. I haven't historically hunted like a lot of steep
stuff. I'm thinking right now like Lorenzo. That's why I wish Lorenzo was here. Because I really wanted to get into this with him because he's going sheep hunting.
Yeah,
and he's going with his bow and he's going hunting stone sheep.
Yeah. I mean, I talked to Derek Nelson over at Matthews, and I don't know if you saw, he did a hunt with Crispy, and they shot a buck like almost straight down into this wash. He shot a mule deer. And I was talking to him up there about it, and I'm like, man, how did you even know, what pen to use? And he's like, man, it's so complicated. He's like, I didn't really know. I can't remember exactly what he told me, but I remember thinking like, I wouldn't know what to do. Like I wouldn't know exactly what pen to do because I haven't practiced it,
Yeah.
So definitely, yeah. I mean, those types of shots, if you're hunting that country where that could potentially happen to you, which I guess it could anywhere if you're hunting mountainous country, you're gonna have to figure some stuff out with your range and your sight.
The thing that always brings me back to it is when I was a psycho bow hunter back in the day. I shot a mountain goat in BC with my bow. First stock I ever made on a mountain goat.
That mule you shot in the rubies was
steep as well. Like the mountain goat one specifically, I remember being on my knees, coming to full draw on this goat. After I ranged it, I had to do a 30-yard cut.
30-yard cut?
30-yard cut.
Wow. This is like straight down.
It's straight down. So I was literally on my knees. It came to full draw, like literally on a cliff edge, like straight down. And I looked at my limb. I was like, holy shit, my limb might
hit the rock.
Yeah. So I had to lean out from it.
Yeah.
And like, I've been practicing a lot, like throughout that summer, and angle cuts and everything like that, getting prepared for it. But I don't think I was really fully prepared for that moment. Like,
Sure.
like it's so hard, I think, to find an area where you can actually simulate those steep things. And I still don't know to this day, like maybe my third axis was off a little bit because I did hit it, mid body. So maybe things were not perfectly aligned, but I killed the goat,
Yeah.
but it's crazy to me, like putting yourself in that situation and being confident still, and then trusting that rangefinder. Cause I was even blown away, like 30-yard cut is unbelievable.
Yeah. That's
Like I shot it for 31 yards.
Wow.
Like
That's crazy.
but it was a lot further than that.
Yep.
But it's just like, to be confident in your tool and like to trust your tool. I think that's why I shoot like that. I think it's so beneficial if you can get to those places and shoot those steep terrain, or you have an area where you have a great practice spot where you can test those out, trust your rangefinder and figure out if it's, hit the fudge those numbers a little bit. Or
yeah, I would say generally up there, I mean, we were shooting uphill, downhill. I mean, trust my rangefinder, dial the yardage, and I was hitting where I was aiming. So in that regard, but those extreme angles, uphill, downhill, that's definitely, I have some ground to make up there. And it's something I should practice because you just never know.
Never know.
Yeah. So that was one thing. Speaking of shooting uphill and downhill, I mean, I think one thing, it's kind of an overlooked, I think a lot of myself included at times, if I'm shooting an uphill shot, it seems almost second nature to like want to, draw your bow up, with your arms up and just kind of draw the bow. So it was a good reminder up there to like, draw your bow level, get your T form and then rotate it at the waist, either uphill or downhill, just so that you can retain the form. And I know that every time I do that, it just feels like everything is lined up as it should be, and I execute a much better shot. So in that regard, that was a good reminder. You talked about second and third axis. So, your second axis, you set it, which is like your horizontal axis on your sight. You get that set, and then you set your third axis, which is kind of the angle this way or that way on your sight.
Yeah, the open door thing.
Open door. Yeah, kind of like an open door. It's a good way to put it, actually. But
I remember some things from our 2 days.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it, kind of that open door motion. But, to get that set, and then that becomes really important when you're shooting uphill, downhill. And again, that's something I think you kind of ought to true it up. You ought to go out and shoot some arrows and just make sure that it's actually set, which was good. And I felt like mine is. I felt like it was solid all weekend shooting up and downhill. I think it was a good time to focus on, and this is kind of just a tip, and everybody says it all the time, but picking a spot. Often when you go to an archery range, you might be shooting at a spot, a dot on a target. You're not actually getting to shoot at a 3D animal, and on that animal actually being able to pick out a spot to aim at.
Yeah.
So the little video that we did, I talked about actually what does it mean to pick a spot. Well, there's like so many times when you're out there, you're looking at a target, whether it's an actual live animal or, a foam target. But there were, I can think of probably 5 or 10 targets where I was like, okay, I can see a branch, that's just off the edge of where the 10 ring, right? So I'm going to put my pin up and to the right of that, maybe an inch or so. And I was using that as an aiming reference. There were animals that were kind of tucked in, and there might be a shadow or
the shadows thing that I was
remembering, or a highlight of sunlight, the way that it catches that animal. There's all these different little things that you could look at to kind of help yourself pick a spot on the animal.
When you're up at a shoot like this, obviously the 3D targets, are you ever avoiding the rings and shooting how you would like an animal if it's quartering away, or are you switching back and forth out every now and then? Like, I'm not going to shoot for the 10 ring. I'm going to, angle it in there because it's a quartering away shot. Just kind of like practice that a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, if it's a quartering away shot, I was trying to pick, kill shot, aiming for the opposite leg,
Yep.
Most targets though, I was looking for, I was looking at rings.
You want scores.
Yeah. I was looking at rings just to see where they were at.
You want to beat Cody and Omar.
Yeah.
Did you guys have a competition? Side note.
I mean, Cody and I started a competition, but I think we got maybe 10 targets in, 15 targets in, and I think it was over at that point.
Oh, it was over.
Yeah, we quit keeping score at that point.
So you got your rematch, like, because he kind of kicked everyone's butt on the Iron Buck competition.
Yeah, I got my revenge on the Iron Buck. Yeah, but I mean, that was one of them. I think about third axis. Those are the kinds of things I was thinking about. Picking a spot was one of them.
How do you pick a spot on an animal?
Tough to hair, highlight, same thing. Sunlight, shadow, tough to hair. a branch that might be in close proximity to that I can use for reference to aim off of, anything like that. And I think I have buddies that have hit animals and lost them or missed animals completely. And a lot of times when I've asked them, like, how'd the shot feel? What'd you see? And I have no idea. They'll tell you, I don't know. I just shot at the animal.
Yeah.
It's like, I think if you shoot at the animal, like you're bound to miss. You have to essentially pick something to aim at.
Yeah, aim small.
Yeah. Yep. So that was good. I mean, in that regard, it was a good one. Other things, shot process. It was interesting to me as I shot with Omar. We were filming this little clip and I was like, hey, Omar, give us a little rundown here. Talk us through your shot process. And he was just like, all right, I'm going to look at the animal. I'm going to pull back and aim at it and shoot it,
Yeah.
It was like, okay, that's fine. But like, there's all these little checks.
Yep.
And I wouldn't say that I think about them consciously all the time, but I will. Last night I was up at the range shooting and I was thinking my way through it. I'm like, yeah, I definitely do. Like there's grip, there's stance. I always check my stance first, make sure that I'm comfortable. I'm squared up.
Are you the guy who's digging the terrain out a little bit to make a better stance if possible?
We definitely talked about that. Shout out Trent at Born and Raised, because I remember he talked about clearing a spot.
Yeah.
And when we talked to him about that, I remember thinking, yeah, everybody kind of clears out a spot just so you get your feet set and you're as stable as you can possibly be. One thing he said I thought was really interesting that I necessarily hadn't given a lot of thought to is like he likes to clear out any kind of sticks or twigs or vegetation that might potentially pop or crack if he has to change positions. As a bull elk walking in, maybe he's going to have to take a step to the right.
Yeah.
In that, I mean, you're not focusing on your step. You're focusing on the animal. Like
you want to be cognizant of what's near you. So if you do go over 2 feet, are you running into a tree and then now you can't draw your bow back? Or
exactly. So he said what he likes to do, especially calling elk in those situations, is clear himself a little spot, clear it of all debris, so that if he does have to shift his feet, he's not going to step on a stick and break it and alert the animal. So I thought that was a good little tip. But yeah, I mean, having a shot process, I think is really important. I think it's good to think about it as you're practicing for sure. So stance, grip, super important. Drawing smoothly. I don't know how many people actually think about the process of drawing your bow. And I was thinking about it last night as I was shooting. There's sometimes I get lackadaisical. I'm at the range. I'm just drawing the bow back. I'm shooting arrows. And so last night I started thinking about actually drawing my bow. What does that sound like when I'm drawing my bow? Like I'm shooting a QAD, drop away, rest. And as I was drawing back last night, I'm thinking, you know what? Sometimes if I draw a little bit too hard, that arrow kind of clanks a little bit. It's a little bit more noisy than if I'm really smooth with it. And that could be the difference between an animal hearing me and busting or, standing there and getting a shot. So that's something I was thinking about. And then, moving into like finding your anchor points, checking that you have your anchor points, nose, corner of your mouth, splitting your jawline, or if you're a guy that shoots an index finger release, if you've got that knuckle kind of tucked up under your earlobe, or if, like Omar, he likes to put his thumb behind his neck. But whatever it is, anchor point, find your anchor point.
Are you the guy that's using a face mask ever, or are you painting? Or are you just not worried about your face? So
I mean, I'm hunting elk and they're pretty dumb for the most part, so I don't really worry too much about it.
I love hearing that.
I will wear some face paint.
Yeah. Because that should be taken into account if you're going to be practicing. You should practice with the face mask if you're going to wear it.
Unequivocally, your anchor point does not feel the same with a face mask on.
Yeah.
You just can't feel it. It just doesn't feel the same. Which is kind of why I like face paint if I am.
Yeah, I noticed that when we did that antelope hunt last year, you, me, Neville, and Brinker. And I was drawing back constantly in the ground blind because I had, obviously wearing black, and I put my little black core lightweight hoodie on, and I was like, ooh.
Doesn't feel the same.
Doesn't feel the same. Doesn't feel right. Like I'm not liking that.
Yeah, it's hard to find your anchor point with the face mask on unless you practice it a lot. But yeah, that's probably why I kind of lean towards a little bit of face paint versus a face mask. But I mean, that's a check that you ought to have, And then lining up your peep with your housing. That's like the next thing I'm checking. Make sure that you check your bubble. You make sure your bubble's level. And then, kind of having, if you will, some sort of mantra, that you focus on and kind of work through in your mind until your release breaks and you shoot the arrow. But I talked to Omar about it, and I was like, this is kind of my process, and this is what I'm running through. And he was like, oh, yeah, okay, that makes sense. I think it's important. I think whether it's conscious and you think about it every single time, every single step as you go through, or if you don't do that, doing it for a period of time until it's pretty much just built into you.
Yeah, like even on a rifle, like you said, look at your bubble. Like I know I've seen a lot of people lay down their rifle, and even at the range, shooting flat ground, I look, I'm like, hey, your rifle's not square right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like that should be one of your checkpoints. You're double checking, triple checking that, making sure everything is perfect before you execute the shot. And it's like archery's, to a whole nother level.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of things that are going on. Like you said, your grip, your stance, your anchor points, bubble level. Like, are you too hard in the wall? Are you not too hard in the wall?
Yeah.
Like all those little things.
Yep. So that was good. A couple others that I talked about, like I said, that we'll include in this video. I would say, shooting from a seated position or kneeling, and this for me, obviously I think core strength is going to be a little bit more needed for those types of positions because it's a little bit awkward. You're out of your element. But one thing I think you should practice shooting from a seated position just to see what it feels like. You should practice shooting from a kneeling position to see what it feels like. And for me, kind of the point that I was thinking of when we did this video was just, how easily can you draw your bow from those positions? Because it's a lot harder to draw your bow from a seated position. Yeah. And, I know that there were a lot of guys shooting 80 pounds, I don't know. Can you draw that bow from a seated position when you've been cold, all day? I don't know, but you ought to know.
You ought to test it out.
You ought to. When we ran into Chris B and we were talking to him, and we were talking draw weights, and I think he said on his bow he's shooting like 70 some pounds. Hopefully he won't mind me saying that, but I was like, oh, I'm shooting 65. I'm shooting 65 pound mods on that phase 4. And he was kind of like, oh, really? And I was like, yeah. I'm like, it's comfortable. It's really comfortable. And I know that I can draw that bow every single time. I can draw it from a seated position, kneeling. And again, I could get stronger, admittedly. I could lift weights. I could do things to help bump up my draw weight. But where I'm at right now, I think 65 pounds is completely effective on an animal, any big game in North America, and I can draw it in all those different positions. Yeah. So, I would say definitely if you're a guy that's shooting higher poundage, it would behoove you to try to draw your bow from a tree stand sitting or, kneeling. Mm-hmm. So that was kind of just one tip I was thinking about.
Can we talk about something a little controversial?
Sure. Let's do it.
What are your thoughts on practicing long range distances, and maybe your thought process on, is it important to practice long range to make those closer range shots easier? Like what's your thoughts there? Because I've been ripped apart a lot for shooting long range with the rifle in practice, because people think I'm doing that all the time hunting, and people think you always have to justify or talk about that you're just doing it for practice because everyone else there is watching you doing it. And thinking like that's the thing to do constantly on an animal. But like, is there benefit to shooting long range with the bow? You can work on some things.
Yeah, I think there is. I have some thoughts when it comes to long range shooting with a bow. I hear people say all the time, like, oh, if you shoot out to long range, if you shoot 100 yards, 110 yards, it makes those 40-yard shots feel like a chip shot. I don't know if that's necessarily the case for me. I've kind of gone back in my head. I think that's, maybe for people it does. Maybe it tightens up. But for me, it just, I don't know if that resonates. But I could see how logically it makes sense. Yeah. I will say, like, when you're shooting out to 100 yards, 110 yards, if you want to be accurate out to that range, I definitely have to be, right and tight in my form. Everything has to work. I've got to be square. Everything's got to line up. And mostly for me, shooting long range, I would say the biggest issue that I have personally is in my release hand. So release activation. And I have to be just right to be accurate out to 100 yards with my release hand to make that go off. I feel like I can aim pretty good. I'm pretty stable through. I feel like I have pretty good form. So I can hold a pin and I can be pretty steady, but if I can't get my release to activate and go off like I want to smoothly when I need it to, I can't be very accurate. So I would say shooting out to long range, I definitely have to work on my release hand, and I think it probably does indeed make me a better shot throughout ranges that are closer.
Yeah, because everything is the same except distance.
Everything
like you still should be doing that same precise practice at that long range that you would do at 30 yards.
Yep.
So you're reinforcing good habits and you're figuring out what's breaking down and maybe some things then to work on.
Here's a little tip for shooting long range. It's something I've been thinking about. I think people, myself included, when I get out to shooting a long ways, my tendency is to over aim. So like
you're concentrating a little bit more.
I'm trying to concentrate that much more. So it seems like it's harder to keep my pin in the middle. And one thing I've been thinking about is, you get out to long range, you might not be able to precisely aim and hold right over a spot. But if you're shooting at a larger target, say you're shooting at a block or you have a 3D target, don't focus so much on aiming at a spot. So like let your pin float over kind of just the center. Kind of use the outline, you know what I'm saying, is as your guidance, and just let your pin float over the middle, and don't focus so much on a spot. Don't over aim, don't over focus, and just like let it do its thing. Let it float and let that shot break. And I noticed like if I go into if my mindset is that way, if I'm more relaxed going into a further shot like that, it seems like it breaks just like it would on a 20-yard shot, and it's always a better shot.
Yeah.
So that's like one little tip. Don't over aim, don't overcomplicate it when you're shooting at long range. Just let your pin float over the middle of the giant target. If you can't aim at a precise spot, just let it float over the middle of whatever it is that you're aiming at. So that's a tip. As far as like, I think you should shoot long range. I think for one, it's fun.
It's true. It's very fun.
Two, I think you tighten up your form for sure. And I also think it lets you kind of know your effective range. You'll pretty quick understand, like, are you a guy that can take a shot out to 80 yards? Or are you a guy that can't ethically take a shot out to 80 yards and you ought to probably stick to 40 or 50, You'll learn pretty quick. So I think it's totally worth it. The other thing I really like to do is and I think you should do, this is another one of my tips, and this kind of maybe works itself in it, is I think a lot of times people I keep saying myself included because I'm like, I do this shit all the time, but sight in our pins, and I think a lot of us just are like, that's close enough.
Yep.
I think we might sight in on a dot, or we might sight in on a vitals on a target at home, and we're like, okay, 20 yards, that one's set. 30 yards, oh, that one hitting the vitals, that one's set. But we don't really have that dialed. And so something I did just as soon as I got home, actually, just for kicks, went up to the range, took a piece of tape, laid out a horizontal line at multiple distances, and I shot each of an individual pin at each individual distance at a horizontal thin line, and I made some movements. I made some changes. So like right there, that tells me, I didn't have my my individual pins sighted in as good as I could.
It's a very good tip.
Yep. So definitely do that. Sight your pins in and make them as precise as you possibly can.
Are you a single pin guy or multi-pin still?
Man, you know what? I've been playing this year. I've tried a lot this year. So started out kind of midsummer or early summer, I guess, shooting just like my 5-pin slider that I've always hunted with. And then I got a dialed sight, which is a single pin fixed, 6 center pin.
Yep.
And then it's got a secondary pin, which I think is about a 1/4 inch lower. And then it has a third pin, which is a reference, but none of those are individually adjustable. So they're essentially set. And I shot that sight pretty much all of June and I shot it at TAC this last week, and I shot it as a single pin slider, if you will. So I was using the center pin, and I like it. I really liked it.
What's the main benefit you see
for a single pin?
Yep.
Field of view for one, so you don't have pins coming in from the side.
Yeah, it's not that clutter.
Yeah, it's not the clutter, so you don't have the pins coming in from the side. So you have a larger field of view, which is kind of nice. You also have the ability to probably aim more precisely, so you can dial that single pin to 32 yards or 55 yards,
Yep.
Kind of the reasons I haven't used it in the past is I just want things quickly.
Yeah, you never know where that elk's coming in.
Yeah, I don't know when he's coming in. I don't want to have to slide my sight, last minute.
So what's going to be your strategy? You know, those type of people that's like, oh, I'm going to set it at 35 yards, and I know if an elk's further, where my arrow is going to go. If it's closer, it's still going to probably hit in there. You're going to like be that person who kind of locks in a mid-range, and then you'll adjust if needed. But if a bull comes in, you'll hold up or low, or how do you work with that with a single pin on elk?
I think I'm going to go back to a 3-pin.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just,
Okay.
I don't trust it.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing is like when a bull comes in, like my mind, it can get scrambled. Like my mind can get scrambled. Like I can get really flustered, you know? And I'm trying to pick my window. I'm trying to pick the best shot. I'm trying to do all the things that I've talked about earlier and make the shot. The last thing I want to be thinking about is like, is my pin in the right spot? Or if it's not in the right spot, let's say I have it set at 40 yards, because that's like the most, quote unquote common distance, right? On an elk. Let's say I have it at 40 yards and then the bull comes in and he's at 55 and I don't really have time to move my sight. I definitely don't like the thought of like thinking like, oh, where should I hold?
Yeah.
Like, do I hold the top of his back? Do I hold, inch under his back? Like, I just don't like that. I really want to like make it as full dummy proof as possible.
And the problem I see with that too, I do this with rifle stuff, because back in the day I was like, oh, instead of dialing for wind, I'm going to hold for wind. But the thing with my mind, because I want to aim
At the
where
end.
I want to aim. So like maybe subconsciously I'm going to pull those crosshairs back in when I know I should be holding over, but it feels weird to hold off an animal.
I could see that.
And so now I dial everything because I don't want my mind to naturally drift back in there. But other things like I used to do back in the day with like Archer's Advantage, I could like plug in like, okay, well, how far is it going to shoot high at this distance? How far is it going to shoot low? And then like you said, you'd set your sight at a certain distance and kind of know that, but it is hard.
You'd have to know, and you'd have to practice it so much that it would just come to your mind in the moment.
Yeah. Cause even with I remember my single pin, I would just, I have to hold like a couple inches high, but it would drift down in there, and then I'd execute a shot when it's in the bullseye, when that's going to shoot low.
Yeah.
It's a hard thing to practice.
I don't mind pin gapping. Like I can pin gap. Say a bull comes in and he's 45 yards and I've got a 40 yard and a 50 yard pin. I don't mind holding gap, between those two. It's just that I have reference. Yeah. I know that one's 40. I know that one's 50. I know he's at 45. I just gap those two and execute a shot. Like I don't mind that at all. What really kind of scares me is if I have a 20 yard or a single pin and I have it set, like how much gap on either side of the pin, like that messes with my mind for whatever reason. So I think I'm going to go back to a 3-pin and I'm going to set it up at, I'll probably set it 30, 40, 50.
So you think this makes more sense for an elk hunter to have a multi-pin, where if you're just a mule deer hunter and you're, chasing bedded bucks, you could probably.
I do and I don't.
Dial?
I do and I don't. I definitely think multi-pin makes sense for an elk hunter. I just think there's so many situations that are you just don't know. An elk could go from 60 to 40 to 30, Mule deer, I used to think that too, because I think, you're kind of your traditional spot and stock mule deer, right? You got a buck bedded, you sneak in on him from above, you got the thermals, everything's perfect. You range the buck, you wait for him to stand up, and you execute a shot, right?
That's what you hope for.
That's it. That's like, that's the stereotypical, like that is it. And I can see that. And I think in those cases, like a single pin makes total sense, right? But I've seen so many clips, videos. I've seen, and myself, I've had so many situations where a buck maybe stands up and he doesn't give you a shot straight away, and he feeds out another 10 yards. And then he gives you a shot. Yeah. And then what? And they're way more skittish than an elk. Yeah. It's like, I don't want to have to.
They're superior.
Yeah, there you go. I don't want to have to reach up and move my sight. So in those situations, I still think I just think a multi-pin sight makes more sense in a hunting situation. I think it's great for shooting tack. It's fun to shoot precise arrows. In fact, going up to the range, shooting at my local range, it's awesome to have a single pin in the middle and you aim at the dot. I just think in a hunting situation, for me, I really need multiple reference aiming points to feel confident. And for me, I want to kill. Like I want to kill the animal, and I don't want to have
kind of stacking the cards in your favor.
I am like
Trail,
I'm legit
Trail.
dumb. I have to dumb this down. I have to make this easy as possible, because in the moment I don't want to have to think about anything other than looking and aiming and killing.
Yeah, that might be why you're so successful. You don't overcomplicate things.
I don't know. I think there's probably something to there's something to making things more simple.
Yeah.
So
archery's already complicated.
Archery is. It's fun. That's why I like it, right?
When are you switching over to broadheads? in your practice sessions?
Like now.
Right now. We're like, what, a month away from archery hunts for you?
Yep. So, I mean, I'm down here in the Vegas office today. I bought a new dozen arrows, so I'll have a couple dozen arrows. I will go home. I'll cut those, fletch them up, get everything put together, inserts, the whole nine. I'll go through those 2 dozen arrows. I'll weigh all of them and, spin them.
Making clones, as I like to say.
Making clones, yep. So I'll pick, my starting lineup.
Ooh.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll pick my...
Do you name them?
I don't name them. I don't. I should. I've numbered them.
You have one called Tom Brady?
No, I don't have Tom Brady.
Your fourth quarter, you need a touchdown right now. You're going to use that arrow?
I could do like Michael Jordan, Steph Curry.
Oh. Steph Curry, that's your long bomb arrow?
Who else before I get down to LeBron? He'd be like number 10.
Oh, whoa.
8, 9, or 10.
Whoa. Here we go again.
On the list. I should name them. But no, yeah, I'll build out my arrows. I'll weigh them. I'll spin them. I will pick my starting lineup, and I will, like this week, well, probably not this week because we're on the road. It's 50, but next week for sure I'll be shooting broadheads.
And you're shooting your arrows you're going to hunt?
I will shoot all 5 arrows that go into my quiver that I'm going to pack with me with a broadhead out to 100 yards.
And if it shoots differently, what are you doing?
Well, it depends on what it is. Like if it's a knock tune issue, I may try knock tuning. I may turn the knock, spin the knock, reshoot it, and see what it looks like. If I can get that to work out for me, it'll be just a new arrow.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'll have 5 arrows in my quiver. I'll have, at least 5 in the car that are good to go. Like I know I could throw a broadhead on any one of those arrows and it's going to hit where I'm aiming at.
You ever get an arrow that you just can't get to go group where the other ones are?
Sometimes, but those usually don't those aren't top 10 arrows anyway. And I usually know it from the jump. Like I know that they just don't spin true. I know that just something's wonky with them. Yeah.
So you're practicing a lot right now with broadheads. This is the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Right now, we're 2 weeks away. So I probably should have been practicing 2 weeks prior to this, but it's time. I want to know for sure that arrow is going to hit the mark. I want to have it's complete confidence.
Mm-hmm.
I can't stomach the thought of I don't know how it would be. I could not deal going out on opening day and feeling like, man, I hope. I hate the hope. I want to know.
Yeah, I saw you. I can't remember where it was, either Instagram or you were commenting. Someone on YouTube asked you the question about fixed versus mechanicals on elk. You had a really good explanation there. Explain me your thought process and what are you using this year for elk?
Yeah, so I'm using mechanical. So I don't know if I've told this before or not, but it was early 2000s. I shot a spike. First bull I ever killed, I killed with a mechanical. I shot it with a Grim Reaper. Mm-hmm. I shot him at 49 yards, broadside, absolutely laced him. He went over, died. He went 50 yards and died. It's great experience. Next year I was hunting spikes and I got onto the spike. I shot that spike at 55 yards and I got no penetration and I hit him. I hit him right behind the shoulder. And I don't know what happened. I legit don't. I don't know what happened. I know that he was with another spike. So there was the 2 of them. I'd see him in this drainage all the time together. I know after looking for 2 days, seeing his buddy, it's like I saw his buddy, but I never saw him. So I'm pretty sure that spike died. I just could never find it. That year I quit using mechanicals. I was convinced it's the mechanical. It's always the broadhead, right?
Always the broadhead.
Always the broadhead.
Yep.
So
Trust me, I've been there.
Yeah. So I quit using mechanicals and I went to fixed blade and I shot fixed blades for all these years and I've had great luck with fixed blades. The one thing I will say is I haven't got great blood trails out of fixed blades. I've always had them die within close enough proximity that I had no issue blood trailing.
We're talking
them.
about elk?
Elk, yeah. Yeah, I've had no issues at all, finding them because they just didn't go that far, which is, that's the best case scenario. But if I had hit one of those animals and had to blood trail it for, any real distance, I would have had a hard time following it. It just didn't bleed that great, right? So then I went to using a sever, which is a mechanical. It's kind of I don't know if they just took the Ulmer edge, and I don't know how that all works.
Yeah, trying to get around those patents.
Yeah, I don't know how all that worked, but it's essentially the same design as the Ulmer edge, same slip.
I love the Ulmer edges back in the day.
Yeah, which is
buddy, I killed so many animals with those.
Yeah, phenomenal broadhead, right? And I think the Sever's kind of improved upon that. You have a titanium broadhead, super straight, easy to activate, easy to set up. And so, yeah, I've switched to those. So I shot the caribou when we went to Alaska. Last year I shot my bull. I've, killed antelope.
That antelope we shot last year with the sever?
Shot that antelope with the sever. I shot, aoudad, I guess, with the sever. Yeah. And I've had no issues with penetration. Like that antelope I shot from end to end. So I shot that antelope frontal and the exit was out its rear end.
I've never seen so much blood in my life.
Yeah, and that thing bled like crazy, right?
And we went 20 some yards too.
Yeah. And the elk I shot last year, I shot frontal, and he ate the entire arrow.
I don't think I knew you shot that frontal.
Yeah. Shot him frontal. He ate that whole arrow. We did a film for it, and it'll come out.
When's that film coming out?
September.
September.
Yeah, just prior to the hunts, get people fired up. Hopefully, right?
I'm looking forward to that. Have you seen a cut of that yet?
I've seen a cut. It's pretty rough.
Yeah.
It's a rough cut, but I'm jacked about it.
Yeah.
It makes me excited to go out elk hunt. Mm-hmm. But I shot that bull frontal, and that he ate the entire arrow. So 29 and a half, 30-inch arrow, ate the whole thing. I mean, gone.
Yeah.
So no issues with penetration, and again, it goes back to where you hit them.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're easier to tune because there's less wind drag. I think you probably get less drop at distance because there's just less drag. Penetrates great, so I don't see any reason not to use them.
Yeah.
I'll be using mechanical.
Proud of you.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. I mean, I figure they fly great, they penetrate great, and the animals bleed great.
Yeah.
And they die quick, so why not?
That's all you want in life.
That's all you want in a broadhead, right?
Yeah. So, maybe one more question. What do you use for? What's your fletch setup?
Yeah, 4 fletch. So
I
went to a 4 fletch, and I did that not because I don't think you get better flight. I don't really think so. I think you can get great flight out of a 3 fletch.
Mm-hmm.
Depends on how much surface area you got. You might have to use like a higher profile vane, but out of a 4 fletch, the thing I do like is that if I do have an arrow that I need to knock tune and I can turn the knock, I have like one more little reference point, right? So you basically go from 3 to 4 options to turn that knock and still have the same configuration on the string.
You ever tried out some crazy?
I've never tried. No, I've seen some crazy. I've seen
some 3 with some in the middle, staggered.
I've seen some crazy ones. You ever see the staggers?
The staggered.
Yeah, that one's always makes me chuckle.
Yeah. Didn't you find an arrow once that was really staggered?
Yeah. Yeah. They kind of stagger them around as you go. That one makes no sense to me. I don't get that one at all. But I'm using 4 boning heat vanes, which are a lower profile, which is another potential advantage, although minimal, I would say at best. So it's a little bit lower profile. The thing I like about the heat vanes is they're so stiff. They're super stiff. So they're quiet. They're quieter in flight than, something like a blazer.
You ever done any testing on sound?
I haven't, other than just listen to people shoot.
Other people?
Yeah. Yeah. Up at tag, just listen to people shoot by me.
Mm-hmm.
Just, We did have a target. We had 25th target on the course. Last target. It was like a 35-yard raccoon. Yeah, or bobcat maybe. I can't remember. Raccoon. So I shot first, and there's me and a whole group of people standing there behind me. So I pull back, shoot. And then up above the target, I see some movement. And then I hear Cody yelling. And there's 2 guys up there. They're 40 yards, 30 yards directly behind the target.
What?
And they're rock climbers. So he has one of those big crash pads,
Yeah.
And Cody's like, "Hey, dude, you probably don't want to be walking up there." He's like, there's an archery shoot going on. The guy's like, "No, man, we're cool." He's like, "No, for real, man. You're about to walk right through the center of a whole bunch of archery targets."
Scary.
He's like, "No, man, we're good. If we got a boulder we want to climb, we're just headed up there." And I was just like, "All right, man." Oh, really? Did they turn around and leave?
Oh, this isn't a good idea.
Yeah, people were just zipping arrows right towards them. Yeah. So I'm sure that they probably have a good idea of what my arrow sounds like coming down range.
Yeah, well, I always wondered though if a good way to test that, or go record something, or you obviously stand safely away and try to hear what it does and do a test on 3, 4, 6. Or
that's kind of the redneck way, I think, is to just stand behind something and let somebody shoot past, and just hear it. But I think when an animal, this is my opinion, I think when an animal ducks a string, I think that's what they're heaaring is the arrow coming at them.
You don't think it's the string? You don't think it's anything else?
I think that buzz it's coming, especially if you're shooting a fixed blade head that's vented. Mm-hmm. That one definitely makes a whole lot more noise. And then if you're shooting a high profile, less stiff vane, they're noisy. They stabilize good, but man, they're noisy. And
It's good consideration, though.
I think that's what they're jumping. But I still hate fletching arrows.
Oh my gosh.
Like today I bought a dozen, bought vanes, bought inserts and everything for those. And like just knowing that I'm going to have to sit down next week and fletch,
That's like
build a
2.5
dozen
hours.
arrows. Oh, it's like, I hate it. Hate it.
Especially when you're trying to do it precise and like make them little clones of each other.
Yeah. Not a fan of building arrows.
I used to enjoy it, and the more I
don't
kept
anymore.
doing it all the time, and then you start doing it for buddies and friends and coworkers, and
Yeah. I don't like it, but it's a necessary evil because I do like shooting them. So anyway, yeah. I mean, that's it. That's kind of it.
you excited for the season though?
I am excited. I haven't really bow hunted. I mean, we've been on some deer hunts, you know what I mean? I bow hunted deer. I killed some coos, deer and stuff with a bow, but like I haven't done like a real hardy, get after it archery deer hunt in a long time. And I've got 2 tags this year. I'm going to pick up an elk tag, and I've been talking to Neville. I think he and I are going to run to Colorado and just do some chasing for a week. So I'm like, I think I would say even though last year I had some good tags, and this year I've got a good tag in Nevada, but I'm as excited this year as I've been in a really long time just to get out and chase. So it's fun, man. I'm excited.
I'm excited to see where your season goes. Like,
Yeah, same.
I've been enjoying the Trail Needs an Elk Tag series.
Oh yeah, I bet.
So if you guys haven't checked that one out on YouTube,
Yeah.
you should definitely go through there. Trail's giving away some good little secrets and tidbits, and Trail does need an elk tag.
Trail's got to have an elk tag. I can't go September.
When's the last time you went without an elk tag?
I don't remember.
Yeah. Set your wife up
I
for it.
literally don't remember. I think
Yeah.
I've had an elk tag pretty much every year for, I don't know. It's probably 20 years, I'd bet. I don't know, 15, 20 years.
You ever considering going to some of these like crazier states?
Pennsylvania?
No.
Yeah.
No, states we don't talk about very
Washington?
often. Yeah, Washington,
Oregon? Not seriously.
Not seriously?
No.
You don't have the bug to
go do it?
try something new in a new state, and
I do, but maybe not for.
because it's far for us.
Yeah,
the
it's a
distance.
long ways. I mean, Montana is kind of like the white whale for me, which is it's stupid because there's so many people that go to Montana, and we have a ton of buddies that live in Montana and hunt elk up there. It's a phenomenal elk state.
Yeah.
For me, I've only ever hunted elk there one time, and it wasn't the best experience, to be honest. So it's like that thing out there. Like I know it's a great elk state. I know they have some good bulls, so that's definitely one I would like to pursue in the future. Just see some new country. You know? Wyoming's always on my bucket list. Try to go there maybe next year, but I mean, I think I was talking to Neville. I don't think we're going to film. I think we have elk hunts figured out as far as films go for this next year. So I don't think I'll have a camera guy with me this year, but if that's the case, I think that'll be like the first time in 8 or 9 years probably like 8 years, 7 or 8 years that I haven't had a camera guy.
Is your strategy change?
No, man. Go harder.
Go harder?
Probably. Yeah, go on my own. Me and Neville split up and just go our different ways till we turn the elk
That
up.
is kind of fun. You know?
I'm stoked.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I haven't, done some true solo stuff. I mean, I try to do. I did one last year. I love it, but
Yep.
there is something to be said about just going out there by yourself. Every decision's your own.
Yep. Those are my favorite.
Yeah.
I mean, I love a film, and I love to go back and like watch a film and share. It's fun to share it with people.
Yeah.
It's cool to, like when this one comes out in September. I mean, it's cool just because I get excited, and I hope people watch it and they get excited to go elk hunting. But like when I think back, some of my most cherished elk hunting experiences has just been like me in 10 days, just trying to figure it out. So I'm pumped. You pumped?
I'm excited.
Yeah. Good.
I'm really excited for this
What should we
season.
call this episode? The Stoke.
The Stoke.
The Stoke is high.
Yeah, we talked a lot of different random things in the podcast, but I think it was really good. We touched on archery. Obviously, archery season's coming up really quick, and you got some good tags, and I'm really excited to see how you do. And hunting season's here, man.
Yeah. Hopefully, there's some tips that help people. And like I said, we'll do a video with some more tips. We did a little tip a target, so look for that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and hopefully it'll help somebody tag out on a big buck or a big bull.
And if you don't have tags, there's still options out there.
Yeah. Insider.
Yep.
Yeah, you can join Insider. I think people, I don't know. I mean, seasonally, when we look at our numbers for like when people sign up for Insider, I mean, it would make sense that a lot of people sign up like, December, January timeframe, because you really do dive into like application season from January to like June. And it seems like this time of year, potentially the Stoke isn't quite as high because I think people could just think like, oh, there's nothing left.
Nothing left. Yeah. That's the kind of mentality a lot of people have.
Yeah. I think and it's exactly that. I think it's a mentality. I think it's a misnomer. I don't think it's correct. I think there's still a ton of opportunity. I mean, we were talking earlier, you said, you look at the turnback list for Idaho, you do articles on that.
Yep.
I saw one drop last night, which was the not secondary, but the turnback list in Nevada.
Yeah, the first come, first serve. I did an article on that the week prior, and I refreshed it yesterday because that opened up on the 24th. And I actually saw 2 archery antelope tags. They're resident ones because they switched that this year. So if the resident turns it in, it's resident only. If non-resident turns it in, it's for non-resident only. But there was archery antelope tags this morning. I saw an archery antelope tag. Yesterday there was a cow elk. Cow elk tag for archery. So there's opportunities to be had out there. You just got to
know how to do it.
How to do it. And that's like, we work at GOHUNT and but we use Insider all the time. Like you are literally in the boat right now where I think a lot of other people are. They might not have an archery elk hunt and you're planning to get a tag based on the tools we offer. And there is opportunities. There's a lot of opportunities in the States. These turnback lists, Colorado leftover day.
Idaho turnback.
Like
Idaho over the counter, which opens August 1st, which is in a few days.
Yeah, people missed out on now the Montana's process, but there's tags to be had.
There's definitely tags to be had, and I mean even if you have your season set up, I mean it's a great time to just start exploring. So
you never know when a good tag might pop up.
Yeah, and get to know for next year. Plan ahead. Make sure that you get a chance to go hunting. So, sign up for and maps.
Yeah,
I mean we're doing a ton of map work. We're looking at. I'm after last week with Mark, I'm definitely going down rabbit holes with e-scouting and our maps. So now's still a great time to sign up. And then, I mean, it's gear season also. So we're putting together, I couldn't tell you how many bow sights I've had on my bow I've had a lot.
Tinkering, huh?
Yeah, definitely tinkering. And we have a ton of archery stuff. Like I said, building arrows when I get home. So, if you sign up for an Insider account, you're going to pay the 150, 149. If you sign up using the promo code podcast, which is ours, use that one. I don't know. There's probably a lot of there's other promos out there, but there's really only one that matters. And it's podcast.
Promo code podcast.
But sign up and we're going to give you 50 points, which is $50 back in the GOHUNT gear shop. You can use it to buy broadheads, vanes, fletchings, arrows, whatever you need.
I've been playing a lot with tripods lately.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, we have a lot of new tripods in the gear shop. I've been tinkering with them, testing them all out.
Yeah,
and we got the new Tricer.
Yep.
The Asiac.
Yep.
Like there's a lot of other ones coming. Like playing with different heads, using some different lightweight optics, using my heavy Swaro stuff, trying to figure out what works, what doesn't work. And some of these like summer scouting trips, I use a little bit different gear than I will in the fall. Kind of using summer to test other pieces of gear like you're doing. Like it's a fun time of year. Like
I was telling Cody Nelson. Like for a long time, it was just kind of the same tripods. Yeah. And like the last year, it's really
amazing.
It's really blown up in that space. And the cool thing about it is it's been specific to the hunting market.
Yeah.
You're seeing hunting companies making hunting tripods, and heads. So it's been really cool.
Yeah. We're in the golden days of gear. And it's pretty remarkable.
Yeah. So use your points, buy some gear.
Yeah. All those new, Sitka launched bunch of new stuff.
Intercept, new. I was out fondling
those pants. Those pants have your name.
Have my name all over them. Yeah, the Intercept pant, and then the new merino wool pieces feel great. Different weights. So
it's a great time of year. And
podcast. Use the promo code.
There you go, Trail.
Okay,
good plug.
Thanks.
I appreciate you, boss. That was a fun one. We'll catch you all on the flip side. By the time we come back, I'll have hopefully shot an Oryx.
Yep.
Looking forward.
We should eat maybe next time when you get back, we'll eat an Oryx steak on the podcast.
Should we? Yeah, get a little.
We should do a taste testing.
Yeah, we should.
Nobody's eating it.
Get a little grill right here on the table.
I love it.
All right,
write that down.
Write that down. Content piece. Well, appreciate you, Trail.
You too. Bye.